Hello everyone, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. And for the first part of today, I've been testing my audio equipment, and it should not be this low. There you go. But I'm sorry. Let me just mess with some things real quick. That should be fine. Maybe I don't want to be too loud or anything. So, I'm new to this, so it's gonna take me a while before I really get this down pat. But I'm just gonna test this out and see what works. Well, anyway, shall we continue? There you go. Okay. Let me just move that. There you go. Well, this is where we got up from last time, so this is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway, staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft and measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just, kind of lost? She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and the saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match, before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hizao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formally in the proceedings. Formality. Sorry. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate with me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So? Her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room are you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup, indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamishi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Mutuo. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Yeah. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly... yeah, to use that term. An exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh, well. I guess I should try to ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. Excuse me. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I seg you into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just waiting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I've really let down my guard. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. In fact... Oh, wait, the fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. Looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Hazal, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance... not a glance. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, a quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. Well, I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hand still neatly folded. Can I be allowed to speak, please? She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walked through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor, rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at my gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old-world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air, since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course, Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Aww. The origin, apparently, the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser onto my desk, and I was looking for it. A pencil dropped, and I was looking for both of them, and then you came and surprised me, and... Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. It's sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. Damn right. Anyways. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could in any way be inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes. Worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression. And then she shuffles more papers around the corner for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit a library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived? Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but I'd missed her celebrations. Partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eye, and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book, or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hazao, a new student. Hazao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hazao, right? Hazao, pleased to meet you too, Hazao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often manages to import arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hazao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How is it any responsibility at all? I don't get. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But... So, there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work, at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least looks slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that would be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. Yeah. This does remind me of my high school library. Like, it wasn't a big library, but like, yeah, it was like one room, but like, The, the room itself could probably be about the size of an auditorium, except the fact that, like, the top sections were used, like the top sections, like higher up, were used for as the computer lounges, and most of it was like tables, so there would be like lines of bookshelves just pushed into the back of the room, if that makes any sense. Actually, maybe not auditorium. I would say like the size of a gym. I don't know if I'm like getting what I'm putting across. I'm just gonna move on. they spend more they spend on more than on new books than my salary, and then I'd have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could just quit this job. Dot dot dot. Very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is. A library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lillian snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks. Set up for study or for personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk, either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of those several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface. Before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself, as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that a part of her face, at least a third if not half, is badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I am shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands, before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself, and remember what I walked up to her for. Okay, so, I'm going to save here, and... Oh wait, what would I say in this situation? Let's just act like nothing happened. Hi, I'm new here. I'm Hazao Nakai. We're in the same class. Dot dot dot. I just transferred here the other day. Maybe you don't remember. I did a self-introduction too. The girl still doesn't say a word, but simply stares at me, wide-eyed. I'm still getting used to the place, so I'm trying to meet as many people as I can. So, what's your name? Hanako? Her speech is stuttering, and so quiet that it's barely audible, even in the still library. I somehow think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, eh? So what are you reading? She gently tips the book backward so I can read the title, at the same time hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of Pi? I've never heard of it before. What's it about? A boy and a tiger on a boat? I can see this is taking some time. Sounds interesting. Is it any good? She nods from behind the book, but stays silent. She looks kinda tense, a bit like Yuko earlier, but in a different way. More like petrified with terror, I'd say. So the mystery delinquent girl turned out to be anything but. And she is quivering in a way that makes it look like she is mortally afraid of me. The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try to get a normal conversation going. Is it a library book? I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's so many. No, it's mine. Oh, so do you come here often? Dot dot dot. A huge blush spreads on Hanako's face, and her eyes widen far larger than I thought it was possible for her eyes to do. Uh-oh. Did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up? I didn't mean it like that. I've gotta go do something! Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you notice a girl run past here? Maybe? What did she look like? Long dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try and find her. Sure. I'll just hold on to these until you get back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right, see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'm ever gonna get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I just talked to her, tried to get to know her. Didn't even manage to get started. Yuko sighs and looks awfully bothered, even more so than she did before. I guess you weren't wrong so much as tactless. Tactless? The girl is a bit of a special case. It's like she never really talks to anyone. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. Just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. Perhaps I was being a little tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile and she blushes heavily. What, did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko feels the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desks really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kinda started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. But she doesn't say anything else, and just checks out my books for me. I guess that's what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I thrawl my pocket for a key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying, or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who's talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday. I don't think so. I would remember someone I only met yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this could only mean one or two things. Either we have met and you are telling the truth and I just can't remember it, or you are a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you! Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies! If you think you can pass as Hazao because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance. But who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do as much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards, just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? I don't know, I just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually. Even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on the people here. And I have no idea it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see, this is how it is. This world. There is no justice. You see, even when I lose, I win because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally, too. She actually ran away from me. It was my fault, really. I think. I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl? A cute one? Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face... I guess it could go either way. Okay. I'm going to save here. Alright. Now, I don't know what's gonna go up with this, so... I mean, I'm gonna go through this game again, so, like, honestly, it doesn't, like... There you go. Not exactly cute, no. There are a lot of cute girls here. A strangely disproportionate amount, I believe. This is one of the dark secrets of this school. What the fuck, man? I tried to warn you, man. But did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yes, dark secrets. Incredibly dark, like a black hole. Bro, what? Have you noticed the number of girls in this school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear that bad. But that is a full 20%. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream. But no. What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I am not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity in the number of men to women is... Sorry. This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split. It's only a matter of time, man. The fuck is going on? Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the buildup of a military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is... Our economy is badass and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They are so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when... Kenji's voice trails off ominously. That is why you can't trust them. They will string you along and then kill you. Just as they killed me. You will end up just like me. Oh, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out. Hey, what the hell does that mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So, you're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, vast feminist conspiracy. Stop. I lost you way back there somewhere. Somewhere around feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow. It's cool. I have some grass and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets? No puppets. You don't like puppets? Okay. Graphs are still cool though, right? He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I had him pegged as a relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? I was just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last insane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream! What the hell? There can't be two last sane man. It would invalidate the whole last part, and that part is kind of important. There can only be, like in that foreign movie, there could only be one, and in the end, there's only one dude left, because that was the point! I have never seen anyone talk so heatedly and defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my graphs. I also have a list of the other dark and complex conspiracy that this school holds, as tangled as... Quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal. I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later. You know, the worst part is Kenji is absolutely right. Okay, nah, I'm joking. He claps me on the back, and then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly. It's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up, so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. The school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony one would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although, I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as I expected, though. This place is really more of a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I open one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Yeah, I just yawned, man. I was like, okay. I feel very tired this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I decided to join the student council, even if it's just for one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have an answer for them if they do, so this situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head to see that Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile that is equal parts cute and menacing. This is a smile that says, "We have you now. There is no escape." Hee-chan, looks like we're together again. Yay, yay. Misha leans sideways while Shizune pushes her desk closer to mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option, sadly. What's wrong, Hee-chan? Oh, Hee-chan, have you been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said you would think about joining the student council, didn't you? It's okay, Hee-chan. We were talking about it after you left. It'd be rude to expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right? Right? I'm so happy that you two are able to have a laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two of you can be. Now that that's over, Shizune snaps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at the stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only two problems. I almost want to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit much, considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the room and catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problems. It looks like she's working alone. I can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there... Huh? Who, Hee-chan? Her, Hanako. Over there. Does she always work alone? I think so, Hee-chan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone? I was just thinking maybe she could work with us or something. No, I don't think that would be a good idea, Hee-chan. Why not? Chishan wouldn't get along with her. Why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a laugh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but still has that lilting up and down quality present in everything she says. Just because, Hee-chan. By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation, and it makes me realize again how Misha has been signing everything she has been saying this whole time. What? Chichan, the enemy... Oh, the friend of my enemy is my enemy. That sounds so harsh. I'm not going to say that. You said it anyway. I know, Hee-chan. It's fine if you overhear. I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair. since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand the thing Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is that also why she signs all the time? So there's never a conversation Shizune will be left out of? Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Yu-chan. We finish with time to spare, and I decide to ask if there's any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly the food so far has been subpar. This leads Shizune and Misha arguing among themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they arguing just for the fun of it? Maybe they seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break. Socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks. The ones with actual boxed lunches mixed in and chattering like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels like I'm the only one who can see her. Almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of her class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I've started watching her. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of being weird, dude. Like, just looking at people is, you know, as a massive autismo myself. I guess she's waiting for someone. What to do? Honestly? Yeah, create a new save. Actually, is there... I don't think there is a limit to how many save files I can have, so I can just keep this. So, yeah. I mean, it's getting close to an hour, but I think I want to continue. So. Wait for Shizune and Misha, or read my book. Honestly, I don't want to have a certain character's route as my first run through of this game, so I don't think I'm gonna try prioritizing these two yet. I do what I always do when I don't know what to do, like now. I've already started in one of the books I borrowed yesterday and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between classes. I find the page that I creased a corner of to mark the spot I left yesterday night and pick up from there. Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about restaurants still. If I joined them, I'd get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled about joining the student council. Misha isn't speaking aloud since there's nobody who need to hear what they are talking about. But why does she tend to sign things even when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said? Or even more strangely, when Shizune is not around at all. What an odd conflict of habits. Now, I don't remember if it's ever confirmed, but I'm pretty sure Misha might have some form of, might have, like, Misha's disability might be some form of, like, having to use her hands all the time, maybe, like, in, I don't want to say OCD or ADHD, but, like, something like that where she needs to fiddle with her hands, and, like, I guess sign language is a good way to do that. So, I mean, I don't know. I find it hard to focus on the book, and besides, the lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. So I do so, heading down for the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake, though still talking in their animated fashion. Just around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a runaway train. Ouch! Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down onto the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during a lunch break. More striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have legs. Or she does, but they're not flesh and bone. Her pale, very much flesh and bone thighs end in shins, and feet made of some black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up. "Ah, man, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She's looking very apologetic, and the hurt puppy sort of looking apologetic. Quickly forget about being angry or anything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest, and I know this is the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself. Don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest." I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. It seems normal. "Hey, should I get a nurse?" The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her, for a few seconds dumbfounded, until I realized I probably looked worse off than I really was, doubled over myself and looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need, I'm fine." Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me, big time. But it's nothing more than that. You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard." "It's okay. I said I was fine and nothing's broken, so no harm done." "That's good. I feel..." Text history. I feel a hand on my shoulder at the same time. The girl's eyes widen in horror. Whatever she was saying gets interrupted by a very horrified "Eep!" I don't have time to look behind me because Shizune is already shoving me aside and stomping over to the girl, signing furiously at her. "Miss Ibarazaki, I saw that. Running in the halls is strictly forbidden." Misha translates right on Shizune's tail, but her voice is girlishly playful, not full of the divine fury Shizune's arm movements would seem to call for. Sorry, I was just going to get some stuff. I was in kind of a hurry." You've been told this 1,000 times before. Your reckless behavior endangers the other students, and even worse, it is explicitly against the school regulations. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. I find myself smiling. "I know that. I was just..." Make sure that this will not happen again. Although I'm sure telling you this is futile, and only causes me further headache when you choose to ignore the regulations. Got that, Emmy? The small girl sticks her tongue out in response. I gotta go. Teacher will have my head. I promised to help with the printouts, but I went running instead. Sorry, I gotta go change and everything." Before Misha and Shizune can say anything, she's already bolted from where she was a second ago. Almost a hallway, almost a halfway towards the stairwell. Shizune looks like she's about to go nuclear on the spot, so I smile at her in a vain attempt to calm her down. Are you okay, Hichan? That Ibarazaki girl is always like that, causing trouble to others. You know, I'm pretty certain Shizune wouldn't call me Hichan. Never mind, never mind. Yeah, anyway, I'm okay. I just got the wind kicked out of me. That's great, Hichan. I wouldn't call that great, but I'll let it slide this one time. Well done. Sorry, I just had to text someone real quick. Sorry about that. Okay. We have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival. And we have finally decided where to eat. Too bad you can't join, but this lunch meeting is only for student council members. Yeah, buzz off. Buzz off. Yeah. I was about to say something about the latest One Piece chapter, but I figured that might be a spoiler. Anyways. We can take you there some other time. Oh, but that would be like a date, wouldn't it? Of course, Misha, of course. The girls leave for downstairs. I didn't manage to get far from the third door hallway before all this commotion struck. Literally. I should get going as well. The lunch and the afternoon class pass uneventfully. I read most of the book I had started yesterday, and eat some of the mostly inedible offerings of the cafeteria. The class is tiresome. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? Come on, Nakai, what is it? What is it, Nakai? You should be going out there, you should be exercising, you should be having fun with friends. What you doing here? I don't want you here. I'm grading papers, Nakai. Get the fuck out. Okay. I jump at him addressing me. But I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's no one else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he was holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clanking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routined. You have no plans? No, I considered joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Mutoa looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels like I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, but it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Yeah, he's... The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone, even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they may seem at a first glance. He says the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, or when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha, or Hanako? It's not like you can ignore her face, but I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straighten in, enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with a bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Mutuo, visibly dismayed by the interruption and Misa in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado. Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea what. Yes? We have talked about volume control before. Yes? But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's none left in there. Do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? Chi-chan, I mean, the president thought that a teacher would know if there's plywood. Was she wrong? Mucho looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence. And Misha doesn't get it at all. I don't know, Misha might be like... I wonder if Misha is like on the autism spectrum or something, I don't know. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. Aw, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time, we are so busy. She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as it's possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples a note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do, and we're falling behind the schedule. Mutuo looks at her gravely, and then suddenly smiles. Smiling really doesn't fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. Jesus Christ, is out. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly, with a hard expression, as if saying, go make some friends. Leave me be. I gotta read these papers. I guess I could give you a hand? You can? Thanks, Hichan, you're really nice. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping, ah, and then looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hichan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hichan? No, I'm not. Is Hichan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Mutuo sighs deeply, and I feel I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere, if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding, and I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the student council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Hichan. Try to be quick. We're in the stall building streak right now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other, with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Chizune's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classrooms closest to ours are designated to belong to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, or at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody home? Hold on. Text history. Yeah, anybody home? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on a desk, a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform, with a fork between her toes and a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner very still, but I somehow took her as part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today, as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated by only the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Hello? The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello? I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there would be someone here. There isn't. That's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she's suspecting my observation was false. You're really observant. I guess it does. But who are you? This girl is really straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai. Hazao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. it kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters don't feel appropriate at all. Look, his out. If someone is like willing to joke about like their disability, right? As long as you don't take it too far, you could like joke around with them. Like there is levels to things. And anyway, I'm not gonna get on a tangent. Sorry. While I'm trying to figure what's appropriate and whether this girl is. Wait. While I'm trying to figure what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day. What word were you used then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too. But I really don't know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me. So Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people. Rin cut me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is a part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine. And less delicious. The problem must be in your pants. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement and a sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back, even physically, as Rin's eyes widen in revelation and astonishment. So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia. ... I said it, more like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glowers at me, looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. Well, I mean, considering the fact that, like, I guess there would be issues with, like, the urinary tract or something, but, like, I really can't think of that much. Like, what reason would someone, like, having something wrong with their, genitalia, right? What reason would there be for them to go to a special school when they could operate just fine? Like, they don't they're not losing one of their senses, they're not losing a limb. I don't know. Like, I think there would have to be something else there for them to get indoctrinated. Whatever. I'm thinking about this too hard, I'm sorry. What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down. I forgive you. I just collect people. And a person with, you know, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? People with different problems. So, you just go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, Ren resumes her lunch, and the conversation dies away. But I keep thinking about what was said. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already, or heard about it from someone else. I don't need to know about it, or didn't need to know about it, like every other student here so far. I should have told it as a natural part. Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hazao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms makes her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty, except for her murky green eyes, which flicker relentlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it from within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins for shelves. I keep searching the cabinets and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So do you always eat alone this late? Or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors? Maybe you are my first occasional visitor. But I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof if she's not horsing around. Horsing? She likes to do sports. Oh. And that's all I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. I think I have all the things now. That's very nice for you. Don't feel obligated to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you're doing with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping, you degenerate. I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel that a relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine then. I'm Hazao. Then you are. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why. Why a pause like this just popped between us out of nowhere. See you later, Hoseo. There's something like a tiny smile there on her face, maybe. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself, what an intriguing person. From inside, I hear a muffled, sing-song voice. I heard that. What did she hear? I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway. Somehow, she had gotten to jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about a global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside. Chizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof, as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited. No, wait, more importantly, who is in there? There's no club meetings today. She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here? You took so long that we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, He-chan. She wags her finger at me scoldingly. I found plywood, but everything else is missing because you are tardy. Oh, sorry, I got the things here. I was just about to bring them. I think you're up to some mischief, He-chan. Who's in there with you, I wonder? Misha signs something quickly to Chizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Chizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Chizune's vigilance and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. Oh no. And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place, apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders. From suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Chizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, signing furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, and I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it's somehow my fault that Ren is sleeping on one of those tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness. Hello. Ren's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face. Hello. Miss Tezuka, what do you think you're doing? You are absolutely not permitted to use school property for just disgraceful activity. It sure is suddenly crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular. It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At this rate, she ignores Shizune and Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs. Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how's your project doing? Will it be done for the festival? Ren looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure Chizune's cold stare is putting on her. I keep wondering about that myself too. And? We'll think about it harder. As Misha signs her reply to Chizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown. Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It will be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it. Rin nods assertively. We'll think more seriously. Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't. Not even after the translation. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo. How rude. It's true, though. I must finish my project before this weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we knew it. Like weekends usually are. But more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future. I'm about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences. But she walks back into the art classroom. Since you have nothing to do, would you lend me a hand? This paint doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it. She kicks lightly at the huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman that I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Yeah, sure. Where do you need to take it? Away. And with that, she takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now, with Shizune and Misha gone, so we too leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching. Or maybe I am walking weird because of the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast. I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with. There's something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod and wait impassively, because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either. It's about your medications. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. So we will do a few tests regularly, but what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headache, anything. Come to see me if something happens. Alright. So how are you? Everything fine? I give up and drop the cans to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here, my parents, visitors, doctors at the hospital, nurses. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except this school. This is a small school. Both with the student base and the faculty seem very tightly knit. At least that's the feeling I'm getting. It's not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway. That's great. Also, one other thing. My sources tell me that you've been at neither the school track nor even the pool. So I'd like to know if you've taken up exercising, as I asked. Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day. You have people spying on me? Not as such. I just happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here. So don't try to slip out of it. Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times, like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder. Even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. I mean, come on, Hazal. Like you gotta get some like muscular strength, dude. You can't just. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, and then comes back like it was never gone. Tezuka, would you give us a second? The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you are still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it will be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Okay, well, I think that's where I'm going to end it so far. Yeah, geez. So yeah. Well, I think this is gonna be like the third episode. And honestly, I should probably just start uploading these. I haven't uploaded a single one yet, but well, this is Dean the Autist. And have an excellent time. See you next episode. Thank you for watching. All that. Yippee.